The guy was the epitome of winning. He is the guy that you want on your team. I'll pick Tim Duncan any day of the week. So,
Did you say epitome?
did I say epitome? I don't think that's the word I meant to say. He is the personification of winning. I think that's what I...
Yeah, but like epitome's not a word.
I think epitome's a word.
It's epitome.
No, it is epitome right
It's
here.
epitome.
Person.
Play the sound. It's epitome.
It's not epitome.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Starting 9. We each have 9 picks. We go back and forth draft order. See who can build the best team given the certain subject. And today's certain subject is the greatest athletes to wear the number 21.
Ooh.
And there are a lot of them.
There are a lot.
21's a very iconic sports number. I went first last time, so I think you get the first pick this time.
Okay. Well,
let's do it.
Ben, let's do this. So last Starting 9 we did was the fantasy football draft.
Yep.
Both selected some fantastic teams,
did.
and I expect the same thing here. And with my first overall pick, Ben, I'm going with prime time Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
Now, Deion Sanders, you can go on about how great of a football player he was, defensive player of the year, Super Bowl champ, near the top of the list of career interceptions, all that stuff. But let's also mention just his career outside of football. Baseball was in the World Series and the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
One of the best athletes, period, of all time. Not just one of the best football players to wear 21, one of the best athletes ever to wear any number of any, what doesn't matter. Deion Sanders is the GOAT, number one overall pick.
He's
an icon.
All right, well, just like the fantasy football draft, I'm taking LT. 2006 MVP,
Ooh, okay.
Hall of Famer, one of the best running backs to ever live.
Yep.
I would say his number, like, in comparison to Deion, it's definitely not close in terms of iconicness wearing number 21. But within the football realm, I would say it's very, very well known.
Absolutely.
That he is one of the best 21s to ever do it.
In the football world, if you think of the number 21, I think for most people, the two names that come to mind are Deion Sanders and LT. Yeah, for sure. 2 top picks taken, 2 NFL players. I'm going to switch to baseball here. Excuse me. I'm switching to basketball here. Not baseball. Not yet. I want to pick a winner. I want to pick someone who is the literal definition of greatness and just winning culture, and that's Tim Duncan. Played 18 years in the NBA, nearly 1,400 games played, 5-time NBA champion, 3 times Finals MVP, 2-time regular season MVP, 15-time All-Star, 15-time All-Defensive Team member. The guy is just, when you think of winning, you think of Tim Duncan. In the 2000s, he was always there. He was, I think, went 5 for 6 in the finals. I think the only time he lost was to LeBron in the Heat. But the guy was the epitome of winning. He is the guy that you want on your team. I'll pick Tim Duncan any day of the week. So,
Did you say epitome?
did I say epitome? I don't think that's the word I meant to say. He is the personification of winning. I think that's what I...
Yeah, but like epitome's not a word.
I think epitome's a word.
It's epitome.
No, it is epitome right here.
Epitome.
Person.
Play the sound. It's epitome.
It's not epitome.
So my second pick, I'm going to baseball.
Okay.
And I'm going Roberto Clemente. Outside of baseball and his numbers in baseball and how great of a player he was, the impact that he has left behind in the game of baseball and in the world, obviously, he has the Roberto Clemente Award, which is the equivalent to the Walter Payton Man of the Year Award in baseball. He has a day, just like Jackie Robinson, where everyone wears the number 21. Obviously a tragic passing, but just the epitome of just a...
Shut up. Fuck you. Fuck you. Do not purpose.
But super impactful guy, super great guy, and then obviously on the field, his numbers speak for himself. I mean, 3,000 hits, he had countless Gold Gloves. Obviously, his numbers retired in Pittsburgh. Just an icon on and off the field. Just a beacon of just hope and just being a great person.
Absolutely. I'm gonna go back to the NFL.
Yep.
And I'm gonna pick another winner. I'm going Charles Woodson. In college as well, he was a Heisman winner. Won the national championship, won the Super Bowl, 9-time Pro Bowler, 4-time first-team All-Pro, Defensive Player of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year, 2-time interceptions leader. Charles Woodson, I mean, him and Deion back there, I think
can't go wrong.
You can't go wrong with that. Charles Woodson put fear in the eyes of his opponents. Welcome to the team, Charles Woodson.
All right, we're sticking with baseball.
Again,
and
another
we are going with Roger Clemens. So notably, while he was wearing number 21, especially in Boston, 3 Cy Youngs and an MVP. Career, I mean, he's not a Hall of Famer, should be a Hall of Famer for obvious reasons.
Technicalities.
As a career MVP, 2-time Triple Crown, 2 World Series, 7-time ERA title winner, 11-time All-Star, 7-time Cy Young. The Rocket. I mean, he's an icon in baseball. The exact guy that I want on the mound pitching for my team.
I'm going to give hockey some love. Shout out to Peter Forsberg. Had a 14-year career, it looks like, in the NHL. He has 4 gold medals playing for...
That's incredible.
And the Winter Olympics, the World Championships, also 5 silver medals. So that also just, speaks to winning, even though that's not technically in the NHL. He is a 2-time Stanley Cup winner, 3-time All-Star, Hart Memorial Trophy winner. Those are the Hart Memorial Trophy, I believe, is like the big MVP award. So, left a lasting impact in hockey. One of the greatest players to ever, skate on the ice. One of the most iconic hockey players. So, Peter Forsberg, welcome to the team.
Oh, well, I'm going to take the human highlight reel.
Ooh, okay.
Dominique Wilkins.
A little Dominique action. Former Celtic legend.
9-time All-Star, 7-time All-NBA. He's on the 75th anniversary team. Obviously a Hall of Famer. I mean, just a freak.
Yeah. Freak athlete. If he played in the NBA nowadays, dude, he'd be insane.
He'd be like perfect today, big man. Like
he was way ahead of his time. I'm sticking with basketball. I'm sticking with someone who has had his number changed. I think he's had 3 different numbers in the NBA. Probably more known for the number that isn't 21, but he was still one of the best at with number 21. Kevin Garnett. Kevin Garnett, the big ticket, one of the most hard-nosed, loud-mouthed, physically dominant NBA players. There aren't a lot of players nowadays that really resemble the type of energy he had. It's very rare to see just the tenacity he had. I mean, again, when he was in Minnesota, he was an MVP. I believe the Timberwolves made it to the Western Conference Finals at least once. If that team had stayed healthy, there was a good chance they could have won a championship, but throughout his career, Kevin Garnett, champion, 15-time All-Star. I mean, I can go on and on. Defensive Player of the Year. Just iconic. One of the best big men of all time and one of the best players to ever wear 21 in basketball.
Going back to baseball, and we're going Sammy Sosa.
Oh, come on, man. Fuck.
609 career home runs, an MVP, 7-time All-Star, 6-time Silver Slugger, Major League Player of the Year as well. I mean, again, another guy not in the Hall of Fame, but should be in the Hall of Fame. What an icon that Sammy Sosa is. Running out on the field with the flag.
Yeah. Absolutely.
He is an incredibly well-known figure for good and bad. Not many people with 600 home runs, so can't really take that away.
My next pick, I'm going back to football. It's been a few picks. I don't think he is one of the greatest 21s of all time, but I think him alone is iconic enough to make my team. I'm going Frank Gore. Again, there's a few other guys that, statistically, accomplishments-wise, I could put ahead of him. But Frank Gore, I mean, on this list, it still says that he's present, still playing. He could still be playing for all we know. He's boxing now. He's boxing now. This guy was a fucking ancient artifact, and he was still putting up numbers in the NFL. I mean, the guy's been on a ton of different teams, and he just kept going. He kept getting deals. He kept being a impactful player on these teams. And
consistent.
I think he's third all time in rushing yards. Yeah. And 2, the other thing is with running backs, or just like in general with the NFL, your lifespan in the NFL can go so quick. The fact that Frank Gore was able to play for 15 years and keep going at his old age just tells you how good he was.
Incredible.
5-time Pro Bowler, made the All-Pro team once, second team. He's a boxer now. So, I mean, I can't go wrong with Frank.
Well, I'm sticking to baseball. I'm going Warren Spahn.
Okay.
Often overlooked because, when people talk about the greatest Brave of all time, it's always Hank Aaron. But Warren Spahn deserves to be mentioned. He's a Hall of Famer, a 17-time All-Star. He's a Cy Young, won the World Series in 1957, and also had 3 ERA titles as well. He had a career WAR of 100.
Damn.
363 wins in a 3.09 ERA. He is one of the best to ever do it. Again, he's very overlooked in the story of baseball, but he is an absolute legend on the bump.
Okay. I'm going to go with Stan Mikita. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing his name, but I believe it's Stan Mikita. Played for 22 years in the NHL. 1,400 games played, all with the Blackhawks, too. That's something that I think is something to point out. You really don't see someone stick with a franchise this was years ago, 21 years. That's a long fucking time.
Hockey, 21 years in hockey is impressive.
21 years in hockey is very impressive. That takes a lot. That takes a toll on you. Oh. Yeah, I mean, from a hockey standpoint, 550 goals, 926 assists. Iconic. If you think of hockey, the history of hockey, Stan Mikita is someone that that gets brought up. So
going back to baseball, filling out my rotation. Juan Marichal, Hall of Famer, 10-time All-Star ERA title, All-Star Game MVP. One of the best Giants to ever exist. A little bit of a technicality. Didn't wear 21 for too long.
Hey, still wore 21.
But he wore it with the Red Sox. So if there's a time for him to wear 21, it was a good time.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, a career 2.89 ERA is absurd.
That's incredible.
When you pitch 3,500 innings and have an ERA that low, that is impressive. So Hall of Famer. My rotation is gross. Probably going. I mean, I don't think I'm losing a game with this rotation.
I'm backing up I'm loading up on my secondary because I'm picking Patrick Peterson. Right now, I don't believe he's 21. He's on the Vikings right now.
He's 7.
He's 7 on the Vikings, so he's not 21 anymore. But when he was an 8-time Pro Bowler.
Yep.
He was made the first team 4 of those years. 2011, 2013, 2015, 2018. So almost every other year. Just when you think of 2010s, dominant cornerbacks, dominant defensive players, Patrick Peterson is in that conversation. He just was always relevant. He was always just good enough, obviously, to make the all-pro teams, like we're saying. A guy that you didn't really want to have to go up against.
Probably a Hall of Famer, too.
Probably a Hall of Famer. I think it's fair to say that he's a Hall of Famer. Well, when it's all said and done, he can be in that discussion. But Patrick Peterson, welcome to the team with Dion and Charles Woodson.
All right, well, we're going to college football.
Oh, wow. I didn't even think of doing something like that. Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah, we're going back to the early 2010s. We're going to Michael James. One of the most, electric running backs in the game. And it had to do in part of, the Oregon's offense. Chip Kelly was a mastermind. But as a freshman, rushed for 1,500 yards. As a sophomore, rushed for 1,700 yards. And then as a senior, rushed for 1,800 yards. And as a senior, he averaged, or not as a junior, I should say, he averaged 7.3 yards a carry. He's a college football Hall of Famer now as well. When you think about Oregon football, it's Marcus Mariota and then it's him.
Right.
And I mean, he is royalty there. One of the greatest college football running backs to ever walk the planet.
Damn. I have to add a baseball player to my team. I do. This is another technicality because he wore 2 different numbers and was more well known for the other number, but still wore 21.
Yeah.
Going Andy Pettitte.
Oh, that's a great one.
Known more for being a New York Yankee, but wore number 21 in Houston. 5-time World Series champion, 3-time All-Star, ALCS MVP in 2001. Also, again, technicality, does have his number retired by the Yankees. Yeah. It's a different number, but just to tell you how good he was throughout his career, Andy Pettitte, I need a pitcher. My bullpen ain't going to compete with yours, but I got to at least have someone in there to help me out. And Andy Pettitte, I think, again, is he one of the best pitchers? Maybe not, but he's a winner. He knows how to win.
He's a winner.
5 championships, MVP. So Andy Pettitte, welcome to the team.
All right, rounding out my list, I'm going Tiki Barber.
Oh,
again, another pretty forgotten about guy.
Okay.
I mean, from 2002 to 2006, he went 1,300 yards, 1,200 yards, 1,500 yards, 1,800 yards, and 1,600 yards, and then he just
absurd.
Then it was just over.
That's absurd.
He was done. That was it. Again, he's another guy that he didn't have many accolades, so I think his name gets lost in a lot of conversations. But you categorize him under the Steven Jackson type category. He was a really, really. I mean, he was an elite running back for a few years, and then kind of just fell off the scene. Wow, Tiki Barber was really good.
Wow, I didn't even think of him, bro. What a name that just gets swept under the rug. Okay, well, I really like our teams. Very different, but I think for what they are, I think we did a good job drafting them. I'll go over my team first. I have Deion Sanders, primetime, Tim Duncan, Charles Woodson, Peter Forsberg, Kevin Garnett, the big ticket, Frank Gore, the now boxer, Stan Mikita. Yep, I don't want to mess it up. Stan Mikita, Patrick Peterson, and Andy Pettitte.
So I got LT, Roberto Clemente, Roger Clemens, Dominique Wilkins, Sammy Sosa, Warren Spahn, Juan Marichal, LaMichael James, and then Tiki Barber. So I loaded up on running backs and loaded up on pitchers.
But you really loaded up on great running backs and great pitchers. Yeah. But okay, so that was our draft, starting 9 of the best athletes to ever wear 21.
Yeah.
Let us know who had the best team. Let us know who we missed out on, who you would have selected over certain people. Make sure to like, subscribe, put in the comments what you want to see us play next, what other starting 9 type of videos, what other head-to-head videos, just any content you want to see, put in the comments. Check us out on all other platforms, Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff. Look up Clutch Points. We're everywhere. Until next time.
See you guys.
Peace out.